I remember, for it was in bleak December, as each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Oh, hi, I'm sorry. I was just quoting second verse from some 19th century poem that you haven't read since ninth grade, but I think it's kind of fun to quote that old literature. I'm Big Lou. This is Big Lou Barbecue and other things I want to do, and it's December. And the weather outside is frightful. But inside my kitchen is going to be so delightful because I'm going to cook hamburger steaks and onion, mushroom, gravy stuff right here on the stove top. Show you how to do it because when you're from the Gulf South, the weather might not always be good for grilling because I'm not used to the cold. Anyway, hamburger steaks and gravy, real easy. Let me show you what we got in them, and I'll show you how I do them. Thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue. Okay, you're going to need some ground beef. This is about 2 pounds of ground beef or so, or it was about that much of the 10-pound roll. And I made them out into patties. I make my patties kind of rectangle or oval or oblong shape. That way I can pretend that they're the New York strips or the ribeyes that I can't afford. You need an onion coarsely chopped up, and you need some of this stuff over here. You need a box of the onion soup mix. 2 of these packages come in here. Now what I did was I took one of these packages, you know, it's the stuff you make the sour cream and onion dip with, or French onion dip with, and with sour cream, you know. I mixed it into the ground meat. The other one we're gonna put into the gravy. All right, you're gonna need a beef bouillon cube. You only need one, you don't need the whole jar, but it's easier to show you the jar because you can read it better. I'm gonna use a little bit of liquid smoke. That's an option. If you want your hamburger steaks to taste more like Salisbury steak, you need some Worcestershire sauce. All right, remember that's Worcestershire. A lot of people don't pronounce it well. This final syllable is going to be pronounced like New Hampshire. All right, sure. All right, Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. All right, it's easy to say. All right, if you don't want it to taste like Salisbury steak, you want to taste more like steak. You need A1, Heinz 57, or your favorite steak blend. I throw in some hot sauce because I like hot sauce. If you don't like hot sauce, leave it out. And you're going to need a seasoning blend. This is like a Cajun seasoning blend, cinnamon or the Tony's that I make. You can use a Tony's or a Cajun Special, Cajun Thunder. You can use some other kind of all-purpose seasoning, or you can just mix up some salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and maybe some chili powder if you want that in there, and make it. So you just need a seasoning blend of some sort, or just use salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. It's up to you. And that's all we got to do to get these things going. All right, in that last scene, there's 2 ingredients I failed to mention to you, and that's some all-purpose flour and some corn oil to make a roux. I'll show you how to do that later. All right, got this Lodge 12-inch skillet heated up, and that's a sizzle, 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 griddle, griddle, griddle. We're just gonna drop these hamburger steaks right in there like that. I think that little one's gonna need to go in the middle. That one needs to go right there. This one needs to go right here. Get it down in there. They will kind of cook down. We'll cover, let them go, show you what it looks like when we flip them. All right, it's getting about time to flip them. Another ingredient I left out, need some mushrooms. Fresh mushrooms are best, but fresh ones from the can are cheaper. All right, let's flip these. Take a spatula. You know how to flip stuff. I'll speed this part up because, you don't flip it like that, do you? No. Now, you don't need to cook these all the way through just yet. Of course, you got to cook them through all the way through before you eat them. But all we got to do right now is brown them because we're going to let them finish cooking in the gravy here in a little bit. All right. That's all there is. And see how that kind of got round to the side? So I'm just turning it around so it kind of fits in there a little better. I just uncovered them, and they've probably been in here 12 to 15 minutes total. I flipped them, of course, about halfway through. I'm going to take them out, set them to the side over here on a plate. All right. All right, now this is the last one I'm pulling out. And I'm going to grab a pot holder and drain off the majority of this grease. It just does not make a real good roux. Okay, pour maybe a cup of oil in there. Get that hot. I'll dump a cup of flour. So I put about a cup of flour in here, and we're going to stir this around till we get brown roux. I don't need this to be as dark as like a gumbo roux. It doesn't need to be chocolate black, but peanut butter color or darker. I'll show you what it looks like when the roux is done. Just kind of fry this flour into this corn oil. Okay, so I got this roux, about a dark peanut butter color. And what I'm gonna do now is add some water. I want to add the water slowly because I'll crack my pan if you add it too fast. It's not cold water, and I add it right on top of the roux so that it doesn't shock the pan quite. And now I could probably dump most of the rest of it in there. It's probably about a quart of water, I would suppose. Didn't really measure, just kind of looks right to me. This is just a home cooked meal, you know. A lot of measuring doesn't go on in home cooking. All right. And the recipes don't always come out the same every time. A lot of times they're better. Sometimes they're not quite as good as they were the last time you cooked it. It's all part of the fun of home cooking. All right, we're going to stir this in here. Okay, now I have crushed a bouillon cube, and I'm throwing in that extra packet of onion soup mix. Now, the onion soup mix has a bouillon base in it, and so if you don't want to use that extra bouillon cube, you don't have to. And if you want to avoid using that bouillon cube, use some beef broth instead of water, and then you don't need that bouillon cube, and probably get by with, well, you need that onion soup mix. It makes it good. All right, but that bouillon cube's in there because I'm using water instead of beef broth. We're just gonna stir this up and get it kind of ready to go here for a minute. Okay, I did add a little bit more water. It was a little too thick. How much water? Well, till I got it to about that consistency, you know. Now we're gonna add some more seasoning in here, all right? I'm gonna put a drop or two of liquid smoke. Just a few drops, not too much. Just it's not done outside, doesn't need a whole lot of smoke. I'm gonna put in maybe an ounce of A1. I should have shook that. That poured out too quick. You gotta shake your A1. Let's do that again. Yeah, that looks a bit more like A1 right there. All right. We're gonna pour in some hot sauce. Put in your favorite hot sauce. Or leave it out if you don't have a favorite hot sauce. And we're going to half the can of mushrooms and half the cut up onion. All right, we're going to use the others here in a bit. We're going to stir this around and let it cook for a minute or two. Get it all incorporated together. That's what they say on those cooking shows, incorporated. All right, we're going to get it all mixed up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to just get it all mixed and conflicted in here together. Big Lou Barbecue. All right. Now this gravy is ready to put these back in. Now remember, they weren't quite done in the center yet, but they're close to it. We're not gonna pull them out of here till they are done. We'll even check it with a thermometer. Remember, you should cook raw meat with a thermometer, not with a clock. All right? And of course, they all fit in here a little better than they did before. Now that they're in there, we're gonna sprinkle in the rest of these mushrooms. I'm just gonna use my hands because this is home cooking. All right, and onions right there on top. We're gonna turn this down to a simmer, and we're gonna let it simmer about 20 minutes. That's all there is to that.
Oops,
Big Lou Barbecue. I forgot. I'm supposed to add this seasoning blend in there when we were seasoning the gravy. That'll do it. Now, 20 minutes. Okay, you want to check them to make sure they're done. So, 170, 181. You're looking for at least 175, 180. Ground meat, I'd go 180 with it. That one's well overdone. You don't have to worry about them drying out, though. They're in all this gravy. So, you know, these are done. The stupid digital thermometer, you got to keep turning it on. But you can read it easy. 175. Let's see. Anyway, cook with a thermometer. Anytime you're cooking raw meat, cook with a thermometer, not a clock. All right, so it's about 20 minutes total. Big Lou barbecue. All right, to serve this up, just gonna grab it like that, put it on a plate, put the gravy on the rice. Put some gravy on that rice. Kind of making a mess, but you know what? It's going to be good. A little bit more. I need a spoon for this gravy. All right, I want to serve it up with some mixed vegetables. You just heard those go off in the microwave. And some biscuits or cornbread or something. Big Lou barbecue. Toast will be good too. All right, taste this right here at the counter. That's really delicious. But as good as it is, I can't imagine that it's a ribeye steak or a New York strip. That's not going to happen. For that kind of fantasy, I'm going to have to ponder over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. Big Lou barbecue.